as we were saying, yeah, I was just telling you about how great of a sitter he is.
Oh, Basil, you must lend me this book. Oh, I would absolutely love to learn it.
That entirely depends on how you sit today, Dorian.
Oh, I'm tired of sitting, and I don't even want a portrait of myself. Oh. Sorry, Basil. I didn't know you had company.
Ah, yes. This is Lord Henry Wotton, an old Oxford friend of mine. I was just telling him how great of a sitter you are, but you have just...
But you haven't ruined my pleasure in meeting you, Mr. Gray. You know, my aunt, Lady Agatha, she's spoken very fondly of you.
Ah, yes. I promised to go dine with her at the White Chapel, but I must have forgotten.
Oh, I'll make sure you're at peace with her. You know, when she sits to play at the piano, she makes noise for two.
That's quite horrid for her.
Harry, I plan on finishing this portrait by today. Do you take me rude if I ask you to leave?
Mr. Gray, shall I leave?
No, no, no. Please stay. I see Basil's in a sulky mood.
Basil, you don't mind if I stay, do you?
If Dorian insists, of course you must stay.
Basil, you're far too pressing. I think I shall leave. I have a man to meet at Orleans anyway.
No, no, no. Stay, Lord Henry. Basil, he must stay. I insist.
Harry, stay. To oblige, Ron. Sit down. But Dorian, ignore Lord Henry. He's a very bad influence to his friends.
Really? Are you a bad influence, Lord Henry?
That's not how I would say it. You see, Mr. Gray, there's no such thing as good influence. Influence is immoral. Because influence is...
Look at me.
As I was saying, Dorian, you're filled with youth and desires that terrorize you. Listen, Dorian, you must live your life to those desires.
Stop, Harry. I must focus. Please, let me focus. Basil, I'm tired of posing. I must sit in the garden.
Dorian, you know you believe it all. You know what? I'll come with you to the garden. Basil, let us have something cold to drink, shall we?
Yes, Harry, just ring the bell.
Dorian, you're filled with marvelous youth. You can't lose that.
I don't follow you.
Dorian, one day, you're going to grow old, wrinkled. Now you charm the world. You think it's always going to be like that? You only have a few good years left. Mr. Gray, I need you to live. Just live your wonderful life. Live your life with a little hedonism. Live to your desires.
Dorian, I'm done. Shall you like to see it?
Let's go. Let's go.
Mr. Gray, you're lucky to have met me today.
I guess I am, but will I always be?
I congratulate you, my friend. Do you like it?
Basil, what do you mean? Of course he does.
How sad it is that I will grow old while this portrait stays young. Is this all you could do for me, Basil?
Dorian, you're my closest friend. How could you do this? This is your doing, Harry.
This is merely the true Dorian Gray.
You should have left when I told you to.
Basil, I stayed when you asked me to.
I'll not let this ruin our friendship.
No, Basil. It would be murder. On second thought, I'd like to keep it.
As you wish.
You know what? Let's go to the theater today. There's bound to be something good playing. Am I right?
Yes. I will go with you, Lord Henry.
Basil, shall you come?
I have far too much work.
Then it's just you and me then.
Okay, I'll get my things.
You mustn't influence Dorian like that, Harry.
Basil, which Dorian are we talking about? Him? Or this one? Mr. Gray, I'll be waiting outside. Don't be late.
Dorian, please dine with me tonight.
Basil, I can't.
Why?
I promised Lord Henry I must go with him.
Very well. We must go. It's getting late. I'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night.
If it were I who were to always be young and the picture to grow old, I would give my soul for it. Thus, while observing the new portrait, Dorian Gray unwittingly sells his soul in order to maintain his good looks. Because Lord Henry had brought to Dorian's attention the marvelous beauty and youth Dorian is blessed with, Dorian becomes fearful of what would happen if all this was taken away. If the only thing that made him so praiseworthy was taken away, then what importance would Dorian have? What meaning would there be to his life? From this forms the self-obsession that consumes Dorian's life. He has become obsessed with the youth and beauty in him. He has become obsessed with fighting time and old age. Dorian Gray shows the quintessence of vanity at its most extreme degree. He believes beauty is merely skin deep. However, the Prophet ﷺ tells us otherwise. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not look at your appearance nor your wealth, but he looks at your heart and your deeds. As Muslims, we are aware of what really means, of what really matters in this life. We are aware that everything is a test from beauty to youth. We are blessed to have this knowledge, to be able to know that our actions and faith are more important than our appearance. Many, like Dorian, are unaware of this. Take celebrities, for example. They have the desperate desire to remain young, so they indulge in plastic surgeries. They not only deny, but they try to defy the rules of nature Allah has set. These people, like Dorian, have deluded themselves with their impossible quest for eternal youth. Their whole life passes, and only when it is too late do they realize what truly matters. So ask yourself, what truly matters?
And as for a spoiled life, no life is spoiled, but one whose growth has been arrested. To realize one's nature perfectly, that is what each of us is here for.
Those who find ugly meanings in beautiful things are corrupt without being charming. To be good is to be in harmony with oneself. Discord is to be forced in harmony with others.
There's always something ridiculous about the emotions of people when it cease to love. Experience has no ethical value. It is merely the name men gave to mistakes.
Those who go beneath the surface do so at their peril. Those who read the symbol do so at their peril. The one charm of marriage is that it makes a life of deception absolutely necessary for both parties.
The artist is the creator of beautiful things.
Nowadays, people know the price of everything and the value of nothing. There's absolutely nothing in the world but youth.
There is no such thing as a moral or an immoral book. Books are well written or badly written. That is all. Those who find beautiful meanings in beautiful things are the cultivated.
A poet, a really great poet, is the most unpoetical of all creatures.
The basis of optimism is sheer terror.
There is only one thing in this world that is worse than being talked about, and that is not being talked about.
An artist should create beautiful things, but put nothing of his own life into it.
It is only those who are shallow who do not judge by the appearance.
We can forgive a man for making a useful thing as long as he does not admire it.
Men marry because they are tired. Women because they are curious. Both are disappointed.
I do not approve or disapprove of anything now. It is an absurd attitude to take towards life.
Nothing is ever quite true.
The only excuse for making a useless thing is that one admires it intensely.
A man may never be too careful in the choice of his enemies.
All art is quite useless.
You insist on knowing, Basil? Yes. I'm delighted. You are the one man in the world who's entitled to know everything about me. You have had more to do with my life than you think. Shut the door behind you. So you think that it is only God who sees the soul, Basil? Draw this curtain back, and you'll see mine.
You're mad, Dorian. You're playing a part.
Am I? You won't. Then I must do so myself.
What does this mean, Dorian?
Years ago, when I was a boy, you met me, you flattered me. You taught me to be vain of my good looks. One day you introduced me to a man who revealed to me the wonder of youth. And one day you finished a portrait of me that revealed to me the wonder of beauty. In a mad moment that even now, I don't know whether I regret it or not. I made a wish. Perhaps you would call it a prayer.
I remember it. Oh, how well I remember it. No, the thing is impossible. The room is damp. Mildew has got to the cabinets. The paints I used had poison in them. I tell you, the thing is impossible.
What is impossible?
You told me you had destroyed it.
I was wrong. It destroyed me.
I don't believe it's my picture.
Can't you see your ideal
My
in it?
ideal, as you call it.
As you called it.
There was nothing evil in it. Nothing shameful. You were to meet such an ideal as I shall never meet again. This is the face of a Satan.
This is the face of my soul!
God, what a thing I must have worshipped. It has the eyes of a devil.
Each of us has heaven and hell in him, Basil.
My God, if it is true, and this is what you have done with your life, why, you must be worse than those who talk against you, fancy you to be. Read the story. Good God, Dorian, what a lesson! What an awful lesson! Pray, Dorian, pray. What is that one was taught to say in one's boyhood? Lead us not into temptations. Forgive us our sins. Wash away our iniquities. Let us say that together. The prayer of your pride has been answered. The prayer of your repentance will be answered too. I worshipped you too much. I am punished for it. You worshipped yourself too much, Dorian. We are both punished.
It is too late, Basil.
It's never too late, Dorian. Let us kneel down and try if we cannot remember a prayer. Isn't there a verse somewhere? Though your sins be as scarlet, yet I'll make them white as snow.
Those words mean nothing! Nothing!
Don't say that. Don't you see that accursed thing staring at us, Dorian?
In this scene, you can see that Dorian has all of this built-up emotions, the most evident emotion being guilt. Over the course of the story, Dorian has ruined countless people's lives. Now, since Basil is trying to steer Dorian in the right direction, all of Dorian's built-up guilt and emotion comes out, and he lets it all out on Basil. There's a hadith that states that there was a man who heartlessly killed 99 people. He went to a monk and asked him if there was any room for Allah to forgive him. When the monk replied with a harsh no, he killed him too, making the number 100. He then went to a sheikh and asked him the same question he asked the monk. This time, the sheikh replied with, "What is standing between you and your forgiveness?" The man went and asked Allah for forgiveness, and surely enough, Allah forgave him and granted him Jannah. This scene shows that no matter how bad your sin is, there's always room for forgiveness. Dorian thought that he was doomed and there was no room for him to get better.
this scene, we learn that guilt can lead people to do horrible things, things even worse than what caused their guilt in the first place. We also learn that everything can be forgiven, but only if we sincerely repent.
For if our intention is better, our repentance is genuine. Inshallah, we will all be forgiven.
The moment I saw him, I knew it in my heart and soul. His eyes blue like crisp and clear lake water, hair like gold threads weaved into waves and ripples. He was perfect. The innocence and charm enthralled me, translated into acrylic yellows and blues. A portrait as beautiful as its owner, as perfect as its owner. But then what happened out in my garden? It concerned me. Laughing along with Lord Henry, my voice echoed through the courtyard. I trust you, Harry. With each theory and epigram, I watched him sink lower. The purity I once knew became tainted, and the gold I once painted became gray. Locked in the highest room, highest and closest to heaven, yet burning in hell's deepest. That is what I thought, staring at what was made by me, yet was not. The brushstrokes recognizable, and the colors unique to me, yet not. And sitting in that room, at that table, in that room closest to heaven, the knife fell. The blood choked in my throat, and as my soul was stripped from my body, I remembered the boy I once knew. His eyes were clear, and his hair was shining. I remembered the day in the garden. I trusted you, Harry.
Influence. Never good, never bad. Eye-opening, yet blinding. Freeing, yet imprisoning, from which you may never escape. Never may avoid, yet may ignore. May make you lose control, yet make you regain it. May corrupt you, yet set you on the straight path. May take you away from yourself, but fulfill your destiny. May take you with the devils to the deepest parts of hell, or with the angels to the highest parts of heaven. May sully your soul, or purify it. A part of life that makes you a follower, or makes you independent. Makes you weak, makes you strong, motivated, or depressed, content, or unhappy. Makes you among the best, or the worst. Makes the devil infect the mind, or God to enter the heart. So what can you label this? Moral or immoral? Good or bad? Positive or negative? Or is it to be taken by perspective? Because we all are just reflections. Reflections of what others see of us. Never ourselves, yet ourselves, all from influence.
I thank you for coming.
I had intended never to enter your house again, Gray. But you did say it was a matter of life and death.
Yes, it is a matter of life and death. And to more than one person. Here, sit down. Alan, in a locked room at the top of this house, a room to which nobody but myself has access. A dead man seated at the table. Don't stir, and don't look at me like that. Who the man is, how he died, why he died, are matters that do not concern you. What you have got to do is...
Stop! I don't want to know anything further. Whether what you have told me is true or not doesn't concern me. Keep your horrible secrets to yourself. They don't interest me anymore.
Alan, they will have to interest you.
I'm awfully sorry for you, but I can't help myself. You are the one man who's able to save me now. I'm forced to bring you into this matter. I have no option. Alan, you are scientific. You know about chemistry and things of that kind. What you have to do is destroy the thing that is upstairs. Nobody saw the man come into the house. And at the moment, he's supposed to be in Paris. Alan, you must change him and everything that belongs to him into a handful of ashes that I may scatter.
You are mad, Dorian!
I was waiting for you to call me, Dorian.
You are mad, I tell you. Mad to imagine that I would raise a finger to help you. Mad to make this monstrous confession.
It was suicide, Alan.
I'm glad of it. But who drove him to it? You, I should fancy?
You still refuse to do this for me?
Of course I refuse. I will have absolutely nothing to do with this matter. It is insane of you to ask me.
Alan, they will have to interest you. Think of the position that I'm in. Alan, it was murder. I killed him. You don't know what he had made me suffer.
Murder? Good God, Dorian, is that what you have come to? I will have nothing to do with this.
You must have something to do with it. Think of the position that I'm in. Just before you came, I almost fainted with terror. I told you too much as it is. But I beg of you to do this. I beg of you.
There is no good in prolonging this scene. I will not do anything to help you.
Alan. We were friends once.
Don't speak about those days, Dorian. They are dead.
The dead lingers sometimes. The man upstairs will not go away. He is sitting at a table with bowed head and outstretched arms. Alan! Alan! You must come to my assistance. If you don't help me, I'm ruined. Don't you understand? They will hang me for what I have done.
There's no good in prolonging this scene. I absolutely refuse to help you.
You refuse?
Yes.
I entreat you, Alan.
It is useless.
I am so sorry for you, Alan. But you leave me no alternative. I have a letter written already. You see the address. If you don't help me, I must send it. If you don't help me, I will send it. It is absolutely impossible for you to refuse now. I tried to spare you, but you were stern, harsh, offensive. You treated me as no man has ever dared to treat me. No living man, that is. The thing has to be done. Face it and do it. Come, Alan, you must decide at once.
I cannot do it.
You must. You don't have a choice. Don't delay.
I shall have to go home and get some things from the laboratory.
You will not leave this house. You will write down on a sheet of paper what you want, and my servant shall take a cab and bring the things back to you.
You are infamous. Absolutely infamous.
Hush, Alan. You have saved my life.
Shall I leave the things here, sir?
Yes. Now, Alan, there's not a moment to be lost. Follow me. I don't think I can go in, Alan.
It is nothing to me. I don't require you. I have done what you asked me to do. And now, goodbye. Let us never see each other again.
You have saved me from ruin, Alan. I cannot forget that.
This scene was all about dominance, intimidation, and most of all, influence. Dorian Gray shows all these things by the way he's speaking. You can see the confidence and the control that he possesses. That is how he influences the minds of others. He is not wimpy and he does not question his thoughts. He is firm and uses the weaknesses of others against them. Of course, influence can be taken both negatively and positively, depending on who you take as your company. As the Prophet ﷺ said, man is influenced by the faith of his friends. Therefore, be careful of whom you associate with. This states that the people you pick as your friends have a huge effect on you and the way you act. The people you are around will influence you and your decisions. So make sure you pick your friends wisely. If you want to become a better you each and every day, do not surround yourself around people that will only bring you down. Then once you are bettering yourself as a person, use your influence to help the others around you. Be the influence that you would want to be around. For example, if the adhan goes off and it is time to pray, get up and tell your friends that you should all pray together. You will be bettering yourself, but you also will be helping your friends that you care about. Influence is a huge part of who we are and who we will become. So make sure it's a positive influence that you will welcome into your life and that you will also represent.
Go to bed, Francis. Is it true what Harry said to me? That I will never change? I truly am an evil influence to others, and I experience a terrible joy in doing so. Why? Why is my case so hopeless? That even when I genuinely want to become better, I can't. The world has changed because you are made of ivory and gold. The wrinkles on your face repeat history. My beauty has indeed ruined my life. It has ruined my life. Basil is indeed responsible for painting this portrait, and I will never forgive him for that. However, the murder was basically his fault. He's the one who painted the portrait. And Alan Campbell, on the other hand, committed suicide. The portrait has changed. And soon all the signs of evil shall vanish because I shall change and become better. I should go check. What has happened? Where have all these changes come from? Was it due to a new sensation? I shall destroy it.
Where did that sound originate, Cornelius?
I'm not sure. Where's our master?
Shall we go see them?
Come on.
Oh my lord.
Whom is this lad?
I'm not sure.
Francis, look!
Why, Cornelius? It's Dorian's marvelous beauty.
The rings! They're our masters.
How could this be? He was a fine man. Come on. Let's take the body out.
It is stated in the Colburn Bible, man is not chastised for making mistakes, but for failing to recognize and rectify them. While Dorian's claims of rectifying his life seem sincere, he never followed the necessary steps to atone for his past mistakes. In Islam, one of the first steps of tawbah is to recognize and accept responsibility for your crime. Throughout the book, Dorian is seen blaming Basil for his vanity, blaming Lord Henry for making him selfish, and blaming the Yellow Book for corrupting him. He even accused the painting of whispering into his ear and igniting the rage that killed Basil. This can be related to the whispers of shaitan. Yes, we are often tempted by shaitan to do wrong, but in the end, the final decision is ours. The next requisite of tawbah is seeking forgiveness from Allah. Dorian found himself unable to do this. He believed he was too far deep into his hedonistic lifestyle to be forgiven. Another requirement of tawbah is making amends with those you have hurt. Dorian was clearly unable to do this. He said, confess, the idea was monstrous. Dorian's ego is what led him to commit suicide instead of owning up to his actions. However, as Muslims, we know that suicide is not a justified escape from one's struggles. It was narrated that the Prophet ﷺ said, and he who killed himself with anything, Allah will torment him with that in the hellfire. When one is out of touch with their Creator, they find themselves unable to thank Him during the good times and do not know how to seek refuge from him during the bad. And that was the situation that Dorian Gray found himself in.
What's Dorian's favorite store to go to? Forever 21. Whenever I tell my parents that, I tell them that joke never gets old. Now, wasn't that a wild scene? It's a yo mama joke, but I'll make fun of myself instead. Okay. So,
is your mom here?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so I was on my way to the airport.
Go ahead.
I was on my way to the airport. It's a really short joke. I was on my way to the airport and I saw a sign that said airport left. I turned around and went home.